Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're stepping away from the big, sweeping history books and getting really personal. We're diving into a collection of stories about a homeland that was lost to war. And these aren't your typical accounts of battles and treaties, not at all. These are intimate memories of what life was like before, the absolute heartbreak of division, and a kind of hope that somehow managed to survive for generations.
So let's start with a feeling that really, I think, captures the soul of these stories. The quote says it all. Now when I think about it, my hometown feels like a dream. Just let that sink in for a second. Can you imagine a memory so beautiful, so vivid, that it almost feels like it couldn't have been real, like a dream? That feeling, that sense of a beautiful lost world, that's our starting point for everything we're about to explore.
All right, so before all the conflict, before the lines were drawn on a map, what was this place actually like? Well, it was a place remembered for something simple, something profound, not for politics, but for its just stunning, untouched natural beauty.
The stories paint this incredible picture of a pristine area. You've got these majestic mountains looking down on crystal clear water. And you get the sense that life wasn't just happening on the land, people were truly living with it, deeply connected to the rhythms of nature.
And the details in these memories, they're just so rich. It's like you can almost feel the seasons changing as they talk. They remember the waist-high blue barley in the spring, the cool relief of bathing in a stream during the summer, the simple pleasure of gathering chestnuts in the fall, and then, the pure fun of sledding on a frozen creek in the winter.
Yeah, take a look at this. This is slelme, or sledding. It's the perfect snapshot of one of those simple, happy moments, right? This wasn't some organized thing. It was just a beloved winter pastime. It's a memory of pure, uncomplicated joy, and it's absolutely burned into the minds of the people who lived it.
But of course, this beautiful, simple life wasn't going to last. The seeds of division were already being planted, and the first cracks started to show not on some distant battlefield, but in the most ordinary places, like a classroom. All of this happening under the pressure of colonial rule and these clashing new ideas. Even school was shaped by what was going on. Back in 1935, the Kwangdeok school, it was just 2 classrooms. Can you picture it? First and second graders all packed into one room, and third and fourth graders in the other. The teachers were Japanese, and the few girls who even got to go to school had totally separate lessons, things like home economics and embroidery. And you'd think that after liberation from Japan in 1945, things would get better, right? But it was anything but peaceful. Instead, the country just plunged headfirst into its own internal conflict. By 1949, politics wasn't just politics anymore. It was deeply personal. And by 1950, the nation was literally at war with itself. And this is so important to understand. This wasn't some abstract political debate happening somewhere else. It was a split that ripped right through the heart of communities. Friends, neighbors, people who had been kind to each other their whole lives were suddenly on opposite sides, filled with anger and suspicion.
Okay, so now we're going to zoom in on the exact moment that this simmering tension just exploded into open war. And what you're about to hear isn't from a textbook. It's an eyewitness account from the very second that everything changed forever.
So how does a war actually start for an ordinary person? Think about it. It's not some formal declaration you hear on the radio. No, for most people, it starts with a sound that just shatters the morning.
It's 4 a.m., June 25th, 1950. The morning curfew is about to lift in just 5 minutes. And then a sound echoes from Kaesong's Nam Mountain. It's the unmistakable boom of artillery. For the person telling this story, that sound right there, that was the moment the Korean War began.
And the takeover was just unbelievably fast. By 7 a.m., that's just 3 hours later, the North Korean flag was already flying over City Hall, the police station, everywhere. And what's really chilling is how they describe the silence. Everyone was terrified, hiding in their homes. While soldiers, police, city officials, they were just rounded up and taken away. Most of them never came back.
The war didn't just leave physical scars. It left these deep psychological wounds that, they just never healed. It left the people who survived with this really heavy, complicated feeling of loss and guilt.
In all that chaos, so many people had to flee south, and they had to make these impossible choices. They left their parents, their siblings behind, a lot of times without even a chance to say goodbye. For the ones who made it out, the fact that they survived, that itself became this source of just constant pain.
And this one quote, it just captures that burden perfectly.
The person telling the story calls himself an unfilial child for leaving his family. Can you even imagine carrying that kind of weight? That feeling that you failed your parents and carrying it for more than 60 years. A whole lifetime spent asking for forgiveness from people you can't even see.
But here's the really incredible part. Right alongside all of this deep, deep sorrow, there's this equally powerful hope that just refuses to die. It's this passionate wish, whispered every single night for the day that the country and all its families can finally be whole again.
The thing is, the first generation, the people who actually remember that time, they know their time is running out. Most of them are over 70 now. So what do? They pass that hope on to their children and their grandchildren. They're hoping they'll be the ones to keep the flame alive, to carry on the memory of that dreamlike hometown, and to never, ever give up on that wish for unification.
And this history, it's not just stuck in old memories or faded photographs. It's actually etched into the land itself. It's embedded in the names of the hills, the roads, the mountain passes. It's just sitting there, waiting for someone to read it.
Let's take Seoul Gogai, for example. It means Seoul Pass. But that's not just a name on a map, right? It's a story that's almost 1,000 years old. It's the path the Goryeo court took when they were fleeing an invasion, on their way to a new capital. It's proof, a testament, to a much, much older history of survival and resilience that's literally carved into the land.
So at the end of the day, what's the takeaway here? These stories of beautiful memories, of painful division, of this unbearable guilt, and this incredible hope, they're more than just history lessons. They're really a call to us right now. A call to bear witness, to really look at this past and not turn away, and to remember it properly. Because this isn't the kind of history you just learn and forget. It's a history we have to carry with us for as long as we live.